Hi everyone, this is Kalyan Kumar this side and welcome back to Chemistry Universe. This is video part 12 of aldehyde and ketone, and in this we are bringing you the chemical properties of aldehyde and ketone, and that is namely the Perkin reaction. So a Perkin reaction is very similar to an aldol condensation. Only thing is it uses different types of reactants, and of course the product is going to be different also, but the basic logic of the reaction remains pretty much the same. So let's get on with the video. Okay, so here we go. This is an aldol type condensation reaction. And in this, what we do is we have an aromatic aldehyde and it is treated with a symmetrical aliphatic anhydride containing at least 2 alpha hydrogens. That is very important. The product will be an alpha beta unsaturated acid, and the reaction is catalyzed by a carboxylate ion, and it is preferred that the carboxylate ion used should correspond to the anhydride. So let me explain the reaction to you. You have this, an aromatic aldehyde, okay? So the first thing is you need an aromatic aldehyde. And what is it treated with? Symmetrical aliphatic anhydride with 2 alpha H. Let's say I take this one. So what does this anhydride look like? It looks like CH3CO, O, CO, CH3. Can you see it is symmetrical? Because the reason we need symmetrical is because we only want to get one product. And this must have 2 alpha H. Not just one, 2 alpha H. And what is the product formed in this? The product formed is alpha beta unsaturated acid. And you must also use, and of course, the reagent used here is a carboxylate ion, and it must correspond to the anhydride. Now, if you look at this, after all, this is acetic anhydride, so you will use acetate ion. So that will also ensure that we don't get any mixed kind of a product. And what is the product? The product is alpha beta unsaturated acid. So you will get this. So this is cinnamic acid. So now if you simply want to make the product from the reactant without going into any mechanism stuff, this is the way you do it. You use CH2, CH, CO, O, CO, CH3. You make this go away as water. Then you join this carbon and this carbon with a double bond and just remove this bond and put an H on this O. And you will get this. This is cinnamic acid. This particular acid is a cinnamic acid. So now remember, we started with saying aromatic aldehyde. So it is not necessary that it has to be benzaldehyde. Even this is an aromatic aldehyde. As you can see, this is an aromatic ring. And there is an aldehyde. So it's an aromatic aldehyde. Even this will react. Let's react it with acetic anhydride. And you will get acetate, in the presence of acetate ion. And you'll get the same stuff. You will get an alpha beta unsaturated acid. Now, the mechanism of this reaction, I'm going to present in 2 different ways. First of all, I'm going to talk about what is the mechanism to make the product. So you might wonder, what is that? What do you mean by mechanism to make the product? Isn't all the mechanism supposed to make the product? Yes, but this mechanism that I'm showing you is easier to remember and will get you the product easily. If you cannot remember the rule of making the product, use this mechanism and you'll be able to get the product eventually. Even though it has multiple steps, but it will be easier for you to get the product. Then I will show you the actual mechanism, which is a little bit weird and not easy to remember, but then that is the actual mechanism. So if at all somebody were to ask you the actual mechanism, that would be it. But this mechanism will help you make the product much more easy to understand. Okay. So the first one is mechanism to make the product. Remember, it's not the actual mechanism here. This is just to make the product. So in the first step, you have this acetic anhydride. Remember, we need 2 alpha H, and you'll just understand why we need the 2 alpha H. Now, the first alpha H is required because in the first step, the carboxylate ion will act as a base and you get a carbon ion. And you'll get a carbon ion like this, very similar to aldol. So I'm sure you can remember this step. Now, of course, that acetate will become acetic acid. Now, this anion is going to react with the carbonyl carbon of benzaldehyde. Makes sense, similar to aldol. And you do get an aldol type product. You get this, right? And with this, in the presence of acetic acid, because as you can see in the previous step, acetic acid left, it protonates this and you get this. Very similar to aldol. So it's a similar to aldol reaction. And again, here, you simply heat it and you will get unsaturation. You get dehydration. OH goes, H goes from here, and you will get this. Can you now understand why we need 2 alpha H? The first alpha H we needed was to make this carbon ion, and the second alpha H we needed to make this double bond. So the anhydride must have 2 alpha H, and symmetrical the better, because if these two groups were different, then one product you will get from here, another product you'll get from here, and they would be different and yield will go down. But anyway, we still haven't got the alpha beta unsaturated acid. We've still got the anhydride, but it's pretty simple. You simply do the hydrolysis of this. Hydrolysis of any acid derivative. Anhydride is an acid derivative. You do acid hydrolysis of this. This part will go out as acetic acid and you will get a OH attached here. So you get acetic acid going off and you will get this. This is what hydrolysis does. So you get ceramic acid. So now let's look at the actual mechanism. And as I said, it's a bit weird. So I'm going to draw the anhydride like this. And the acetate is going to plug this and you get a carbon ion. So that's pretty simple. But this is where it gets weird. In step 2, this carbon ion will attack the benzaldehyde. Pretty much straightforward. But I'm going to write the product slightly like this. In the previous case, I simply wrote it in a linear way. Here, I'm going to write it in a little bit of a cyclic form, even though it's not a ring right now. But now what happens is the weird part. This O minus attacks the carbon and the pi bond goes to O, and you do get a cyclic thing. Can you understand that? This is the O that became the minus here. It attacked the C. And the reason it is able to form this intermediate is because it's a 6-membered ring, easy to form, stable also. Then what happens is the O minus comes back and this leaves and you get this. Okay? And then in the next step, this again, I'm just making the product of the previous step, but I'm only showing the H separately now. Again, in the presence of acetate ion, we'll take the H and you'll get this. And you'll directly get alpha beta unsaturated carboxylate ion along with the emission of acetic acid. And this with acetic acid, which will give the proton, will give you cinnamic acid. And that is the end of Perkin reaction. So again, it's a pretty short video and just go through both the mechanism. The first mechanism is help you to understand basically what we did. We did an aldol type reaction, aldol condensation type reaction. We got a double bond, but the only difference was we still had an anhydride. We hydrolyzed the anhydride and we got an acid and we got an alpha beta unsaturated acid anyway. So the first one is easier to remember. The second one is a little weird, but then that is the actual mechanism. So if you're ever asked the actual mechanism, use the second one. If you want to get the product directly, you can use some kind of a shortcut. As I said, take the 2H from the alpha carbon, take the O from the aldehyde, form it H2O, join these two carbons with a double bond, and then remove the anhydride part and convert that into an acid. So that would be a pretty shorter way of making the product. But anyway, with that, we come to the end of this video. And have a nice day. And thank you for watching this.